Hello and welcome. I'm Inverta Umbra and this is Dwarf Fortress. So I've taken some time to look at the map. It seems it's just, unfortunately, if I go over and I hit K, which is the look key, um, sandy clay loam walls, which I believe is just a type of clay and not a type of sand, unfortunately. But maybe I'll find just a little patch of it somewhere lower. Um, it's a very flat map, so but I think we'll be able to make it work. So our initial uh, dig into the ground is probably not going to be that spectacular. It's not going to be anything fancy. It's probably just going to be a hole going straight down, minimal fanciness. Um, I've been looking at it, and I've already gone into Dwarf Therapist, which is a third-party program that comes with the Lazy Noob pack. Hopefully that will show on screen now. Oop, there we go. And I went through and I kind of quickly just picked out some roles. Unfortunately, we kind of got unlucky with the starting favorability towards certain skills. I kind of had to just make some judgment calls and be like, well, you're not that great at it, but you're going to do it. Um, so we have asked Laurel, Irush, Thicod, Iden, Anul, Reg, and Udil. And I don't know who's actually the leader right now. There is one that will be the leader. Maybe it hasn't been picked yet. Sometimes that doesn't happen until after the the actual embarkment. But we'll see. Right now, they're all peasants because they have no primary skill, and they're all just they're fine. They don't really have a happiness. They have no jobs right now, and that's just because I haven't said anything to them. But I did go ahead and do that, and I committed the changes. Um, Probably go over that a little more later, and that should be back on the Dwarf Fortress screen. All right, and hopefully, if some of you would like a name, just drop it down below in the comments. I'll first come, first serve. Uh, Maybe you'll have some names that are a little easier for me to pronounce. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's figure out what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna select some trees to be harvested. So I'm gonna hit the D and then the T keys, which it actually already had it set to T, so I'm not gonna actually hit the T key. But I'm gonna select these trees to be harvested. And yeah, we're kind of in a foresty area. Um, but I want to clear out some of the trees just to just so I can have a clearing, and in that clearing is probably where I'm gonna start digging down. Um, Otherwise, let's see, what else could I might want to set P, so we're gonna gather some plants. I'm just gonna start up at this top corner. I don't know how much we're actually gonna get, but I'm gonna give whoever my plant gatherer is, he's gonna have a lot to do in this initial spot. Um, and we're just going to start. We're going to let it resume. We're going to see what everyone starts to do, what everyone runs and grabs. I'm going to let the carpenter or the woodcutter do his thing, mostly because I don't want any dwarves near where he's chopping down trees, because while he won't knock himself out, he will knock other dwarves out, and I would prefer not to do that. Alright, so it looks like he's getting started. That may be a big enough clearing to go ahead and start digging. We're going to hit the D key after, well, the D key to do a designated area, and the D key again to dig. And we're going to just, we don't need anything big. Or not D, we need to do J for downstairs. And then, I don't know how far I want to go, but I'm going to hit I for up downstairs, and I'm going to make sure it's about roughly the same area. And we're going to go down like, I don't know, 3 levels. And I'm going to go down one more and build an upstairs. That's going to kind of be the end of that. I may be able to express path later that goes, like if we go down further, that an express path that goes further down. But for right now, that's a good start for our dwarves, and will tell us what's underneath. So the two who are going to be miners are getting started. What's this? Just silty clay. And looks like we've hit some sort of stone. Obsidian. Well, obsidian's a volcanic stone, if I remember correctly, so that makes me wonder, are we going to encounter lava early? Native gold? Turquoise, obsidian. Where did we strike native gold? Hmm. I... Oh, further down. Okay. More obsidian, native gold. Yeah, I'm going to stop digging there. I'm actually going to go up to here, and we're going to dig this. We're going to dig this way. We're going to create a 2 wide area. Um, Let me check what's above us. Just because, while there shouldn't be any problems, if I dig under one of these water areas, it's going to stop me from digging a lot for a good bit, so I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to hold the shift key from here and go up, and then here and go down, and then just go back a couple. And this is going to be a farming area. Also, I'm probably going to put the initial stockpile right in here. Nothing fancy again, just some basic stuff. Um, and you know what? The dwarves deserve something to sleep in that's not just outside in the dirt. I mean, it'll be inside in the dirt, but it'll be something. So we'll set up a small barracks room right there, a dormitory. And I think that's all I need for right now. I don't really need the stone. I need the wood. In fact, we're going to hit the B key, we're going to hit the W key for workshops, and then I'm going to hit I need a carpenter's workshop, which I believe is C? Yes, C. So we're going to just put it right near the entrance, and we're going to use a close wooden log. It's asking me what I want to build it out of. So there's kumquat, wood logs. I did not know kumquats grew on tree. I wonder if that's just a Dwarf Fortress thing. Lychee wood, coconut palm, pomegranate. I could also use the obsidian that's downstairs. I'm just going to use what's close. There's a distance of 4 to kumquat logs, so I'm going to use those. I only need one. And I'm just going to set him to do that. And I believe our tree cutter might also be our carpenter. Everyone's set up for architecture, but I believe you have to use the related job in question to finish building a workshop. So it may take him a bit to get over there. And let's see how our miners are doing. Eventually they will change job titles to miner, but that's once they get a actual skill level in there. Yep, they both became miners. And you'll notice their little sprites look a little different. You can kind of tell they look like a little dwarf wearing a hard hat with a little pickaxe over their shoulders. It has started raining. My dwarves are going to be so thrilled. Of course, they do start with so over here in the bottom corner, there's these numbers and like these colors. These show the happiness of your dwarves. So ecstatic, like they're really happy, they're okay, like they're pretty happy, and then they're neutral, they're annoyed, uh, angry, and I believe berserk or one of those like really unhappy traits. So, and we're going to hit the Q key, go over to our carpenter's workshop, and we're going to queue up a few beds. I only need 7, but I'm probably going to do what the full load is. what is that, like 9, I believe? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Okay. Well, having 2 extra beds won't hurt. Um, Reg has become a woodcutter. Alright. And if he starts working on those beds, we already have the room cleared out. I'll set up a dormitory. And most of Dwarf Fortress, after you get to a point, is just waiting. Waiting for your dwarves to finish doing stuff, waiting for you to get uh, the right amounts of resources. So I'm going to hit the B key and then hit B again for bed to place that one bed down. In fact, while he's at it, let me add a door. And hopefully when he finishes building the beds, he'll just go straight into the doors. I want to add them on to the entrance to the dormitory that I'm going to set up there. Let's see. So they cleared that out. So I'm going to hit P for stockpiles, and I'm going to create a custom stockpile. And I'm going to go into the settings of it, and I'm basically going to enable food. No, I'm not going to enable stone. Ammo. I don't think we have any bars of blocks or gems. Finished goods, leather, cloth. No, not the wood yet. Um, Weapons, trap components, armors. I don't think we have any sheets. Um, Furniture and siege ammo. It's just going to be a general all-purpose stockpile. And I want all the dwarves who are kind of idling right now to just throw everything into it and get it out of the wagon we have up here. So I haven't really talked about what's up here, but we have this. This is our wagon. It came with 2 horses, and actually I kind of want to keep the horses around because they're kind of a breeding pair. There's one male, one female. Um, but they have to have a pasture to graze in, and I don't know if I want to deal with that right now. So our dwarves, they're starting to haul stuff. So the ones who have not really done anything since the beginning, lazy dwarves. Put the second bed there. And let's see. Yeah, so like I said, there gets to be a lot of downtime. I did want to say there is an adventure mode in this game. Um, if you watched my episode 0, I briefly touched on it. The adventure mode is kind of like how Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead's default mode is, where you make an adventure and you go do things, venture into the wild, see. It's actually the histories that you can generate in these worlds are very fun to read through from time to time. And I may go into this world's history at some point and just pull out a few notable examples of anything that's happened. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot that's happened. Again, this world has only generated for 188 years. We're in the 189th year. So stuff is going to be happening in the outside world, but we're going to be focused on our little dwarven colony here. And I elected to start a fortress mode rather than try to do a adventure mode. While I guess I'm competent in Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead's adventure mode or default mode, Dwarf Fortresses is, at least it used to be, more brutal. Um, but also makes it feel more worthwhile when you finally accomplish something. So I do not discourage anyone from playing that if they're interested, but it's not really for me. So I'm going to build a zone over here, because all our food's right in here, and I don't want vermin in here. I'm actually going to make this into a pen or pasture, and I'm actually only going to put in the cats. And this is why cats are good to have around. other than, you know, lowering your blood pressure and just being cuddly and cute. Um, they'll hunt vermin and they'll kill them, and then suddenly you won't have vermin anymore, and you won't have to worry about them getting into your food, and your dwarves won't have negative thoughts about them. The bad thing about cats is they are known. Um, I know at least the older versions of Dwarf Fortress for what's called a cat explosion, and it's where a population boom will happen after a certain point. You'll reach a critical mass of cats, and they'll, you know, the female cats will get pregnant, and then they'll all have kittens, and then it'll just reach this critical mass where there's a whole bunch of animals that suddenly generate in your world all at once, and it will slow down your fortress to a crawl. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. So you wanna just keep an eye on your cats. If you start getting a lot of them, start butchering them. Unfortunately, you know, it sounds really cruel and mean, but for the survival of your little dwarven people, it's what you have to do. So next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to build a plot, a farm plot. And you don't need huge farm plots to sustain your dwarves. I like to do little 4x4s and just put them in the corners. Um, and usually give them about space in between them. I usually like to start with 4, so 4x4 plots. And the reason being is I like to have each one on a little bit of a different growth pattern. Let's see here. So we'll start with those. I have room to expand. I do want to put a few workshops down here now. I believe it's a farmer's workshop, which will allow me to do certain little things. We're going to make it out of wood for right now. Obsidian, the reason I'm avoiding using the obsidian, and something that'll come up later, is the value of your fortress. When your fortress gets to a higher value, will attract different enemies. So I kind of want to not attract too hard of enemies just yet. I want to give it a little time. So, and shaped and crafted things are a sure way to improve the value of your fortress quickly. We're going to put the fishery down here, even though we don't really have anyone fishing just yet. And we're going to put the kitchen. I just like to get these out of the way. And then we're going to put the most important dwarven building I can get, the stills. So this is where we make the alcohol. And we are going to make these out of wood. In the future, maybe gold, maybe obsidian, just whatever we have available to us. But I want to have 2 stills, and I kind of want to get on, you know, making drinks as soon as possible. In fact, I want to build another custom stockpile, and I like to do this. I don't know if this is actually a good thing, so anything I do in this game, you might want to. There's a very healthy forum. I recommend checking it out. And anything I do in this game, you might want to check and see if that's what's recommended. I'm actually just going to put. Let's see what I do. B, and then okay. I want to permit seeds, and that's all I want to permit in this little stockpile. It's just going to be a small stockpile just for seeds. And then I'm going to create another one, and it's going to not allow seeds. So it's going to forbid seeds, but it's going to allow fruit and leaves. I'll allow milled plant. Um, Fat, because I will get some of that down here. Um, you know what? I won't allow that, but I will allow extractive animals. This. You know, I think I'm just anything you would normally eat is going to be here. Um, I'm not actually going to put the drinks here. Alright, so that's set up. I usually like to have a separate room just for drinks, but for right now, I think I'm just going to set drinks to be right here. And there's not really a good reason to have all these different stockpiles. It's just my own little OCD thing, which Dwarf Fortress triggers in spades. Um, so permit these two types of drinks. Um, Basically take the remaining space and fill it up. Now, eventually I want more drinks than that. So I'll probably build a room specially for it. Probably a room with quick access to wherever I set up my dining hall for dwarves. Build door and door. And then I can do this last thing I need to do. So we're going to hit Q. We're going to hit R to make this a bedroom. I'm going to select that whole area, and then I'm going to make this into a dormitory. So hitting D, and then hopefully when the dwarves get tired, they're going to go into that room and they'll sleep. And they won't have a bad mood from sleeping outside or sleeping in the dirt. They'll have a good mood from sleeping in a bed, but just a bad mood for sharing a room, which they'll deal with it for now. And you'll notice all our dwarves are now back to being excited again over here in the corner. Instead of, there was a few I think that were in the blue. And now that the farming has finished setting up these plots, we can designate what they have. But I'm going to stop here for right now. I believe we covered a lot, and I got to think about how I want the crop rotation to go, which I will have you guys uh, see how I do that, just because I feel that's an important thing, especially for new players, on how you do your crops. Um, Inevitably, a large amount of them wind up being plump helmets or something, but you need some other things to diversify in your fortress, not for the sake of food, but for the sake of cloth and stuff. So thank you for joining me. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this is Dwarf Fortress. Have a good one.